Yo, what is happening? It's your boy Roy, and it's another episode of Sync Gems. Pow, pow, pow. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about the experience I've had this past week, which was awesome, and I feel like can give you a lot. I'm gonna keep it short this time, so don't worry about me. You know what to do. Follow the podcast wherever you're listening to it on or watching it on. This really helps. If you want the 11 Gems PDF, just go ahead, check the links in the show notes, wherever that is. And yeah, you can download your 11 Gems PDF for free. This week has been a really interesting one. And it's been a huge eye-opening experience for me because when I recorded one of the first podcasts, somebody told me, yeah, always keep your tracks that weren't accepted. And in my head, I was like, yeah, that's a nice idea, but ideas my ideas that didn't get accepted are usually not accepted because of a reason, because they're not good enough or whatnot. So why would they actually get accepted? And that was probably also because of the stage I was in too, where I was kind of getting my chops together. I'm still getting my chops in a lot of ways, but yeah, there's levels to it. Anyway, this week I got a interesting offer from a composer I've known for a while, which has become a good friend. And he told me, yeah, there's an album from a big company, and it's asking for basically the style of music that I've done in the past year a lot. So like this kind of promo hip-hop, hip-hop for promos. So he gave me references, he gave me all that, and I got to work, and I told him that I will have one or two tracks in 2 days, which is pretty normal to me. But what I thought would be even more awesome was if I sent him more than one track in the first day. So what happened was I ended up recording a track, and then I remembered there was a track that I made a few months back that got rejected, and I was like, man, should we revisit this track? I don't know. Let me just I don't know. Just have it as another option, as an option number 2 or whatever. So I sent him the 2 tracks. One was recorded today after looking at the brief. One was from a few months back, not for the brief. And to me, it was obvious. Like the first track must take this. There's no way. And yes, there was a way, because in the end of the day, he was like, I don't know, that second track really hits differently. I love that second track. Let's work on that. Scrap the first one. So now the first track is gonna be a rejected track, and what I wanted to speak to is that every time I have a track that's rejected or whatever, or just a track that I haven't pitched yet, I mark it with some sort of I mark it with an X, even though it gives a bad connotation maybe, but it just keeps all the tracks that weren't approved or are pending or whatever, it keeps them below in my Dropbox folder. So my main Dropbox folder has a bunch of X and song, X song, and that way I have all these songs all the way down for me to sift through if somebody needs something, and maybe I have it and this time it paid off. And I added another song to this list, which is funny. It came full circle, but it also came full circle because from that episode, I don't remember what episode it was, but somebody told me about. I think maybe it was Eric Bolivar, or I don't remember, the one of the first episodes. That keep these tracks, like you will use them. No tracks are there's no tracks that are just made for nothing. And I'm starting to believe that now. I would love to know actually your stories, about your stories with tracks like that maybe didn't make it to one album, but then landed a huge placement down the line or whatever. I'd love to hear your stories. So leave them in the comments or hit me up with them, because that's encouraging me to me. To be honest, like it's really cool that something like that happened to me. What happened after that actually was that they sent me another track. After this track, they sent me another track to just lay my vocals on. So potentially I'm going to be on this big album for a big company in 2 tracks, which is awesome. It's just the openings that are created. So a few lessons, a few takeaways that I've taken from this experience was: one, have your tracks, your unwanted tracks, have them on the ready. Have them always in a place where you can pitch them and where it's easy and for you to see. Another thing was the connections that you make. You just never know when they'll come back. And from that friend, to be honest, I never expected him to come back to me with an offer like that. So that's one to connection. And I had another lesson, but I completely forgot it. I think I wrote it in the newspaper that I send out. And yeah, I hope that you get a little something from this, because we work so hard for something that we don't know what is going to yield exactly. And sometimes on my journey, and I know there's somebody there who's with me, there's the question of like, what the hell am I doing this for? Why am I doing all this work? Like, if 75% of it, or 50 or 40 or 30% of it gets into a library, and then I have another 70% that does nothing for me, that just sits and gets, like, accumulates dust in a hard drive. And there are people that can do it way better than me, but putting your tracks to work, even if it's in a I don't know a lot about this, but non-exclusive libraries or whatnot. I don't know how their model is kind of shifting these days with AI. But find a way to put your tracks to work is what I'm getting at. And have intention. Yeah, of course, like, some tracks are not going to make it. That's fine. But try to make stuff with intention, especially if it's for sync. I'm in a position now where every track I make, I know where it's going, but some of these tracks don't get approved, and that's fine. I just find other ways to pitch them. And yeah, and you never know. That's the big thing. You never know. Just keep moving forward. And I promise something cool will happen. Whether it is a 6-figure check from Sync, I don't know. Whether it's a big artist project from one of these instrumentals, no one knows. Just keep making, keep doing. And something will come out. Hope you have an amazing day. Hope you have an amazing week. Again, if you want these 11 gems free PDF, go ahead, hit the link in wherever it is, show notes, or below if it's YouTube. And I'll see y'all here next week. We have an awesome guest. I love y'all. Peace.